はい、ごきげんよう、レイブです。ということで、今度はエラーで落ちました。フリーズじゃなくてエラーね。まあどちらにせよね、配信止めなきゃいけないし、ゲーム落とさなきゃいけないから一緒なんですが、ちょっと今回はエラーだったので PS4 も再起動してもう一回再開しております。いや本当にね、このエラーとかさ、ロード待ちがストレスすぎるんで、本当に一気に終わらせます。これストーリーは気になるけど、やっぱゲーム自体は結構ひどいので、いやもうさっさと終わらせます。さっさとって言いながらもね、クエスト全部こなしてるからなかなか終わんないんだけどね。敵も強いし。まあとりあえずレベル上げたんで、ちょっと戦闘頑張ってみようと思います。いやちょっと勝てそうになかったらな。ちょっとね、終わらないのも嫌だから。ウエストエンドにいる時点から始まったな。なんかね、もうマップの読み込みが遅い時点で嫌な予感しかしないんだよね。オッケー。どういう状況から始まったかよくわかんないけど。やっぱ強いよな、この人。ここでバトってたらエラー起きたんだっけ。でもなんか倒したことになってるっぽいな。いないもんね。こっちじゃなくてあっちの裏側から入れんだよ確か。あれでももう正面開けたから入れるかな。ちょっとあの人たちもらおう。倒しちゃった。劇場正面。あれここだ。入れっかな。入れんね。いや早速目の前敵だらけなんだけど。 ダメージ食らわないように倒しつつ。
It's locked.
ここ開かないんだ。裏から行かなきゃダメか。ネズミさん一匹。
I can't believe I'm doing this.
オッケー。ブラッド結成じゃねえや。オッケー、準備万端だぜ。この状態でいっか。
My blade shall pierce your villainous heart. Will she be the queen again once they all share her fate?
聞かないのあれ。
Woe unto thee, son of Babylon!
いった。もう一匹が邪魔。うわ、やばいなこれ。周りが邪魔すぎる。
Wait. I beg you, wait.
What?
I don't want to die.
And I did not come to kill you, Miss Fletcher.
Will you spare me then? Save this cadaverous carcass of mine. Does your heart beat a little faster now? You fancy me then, Doctor?
だいぶ狂ってないこの人。大丈夫？
No, Miss Fletcher. My dead heart will beat for only one.
Ah! Is she pretty? Is she sweet and tender?
To me, yes.
Ah! I hate her already.
I
嫉妬の
know.
神やん。
And this is partly why you must be destroyed.
But you just said...
That I did not come here to kill you, yes. But I realize now the threat you embody must be stopped.
Will I be remembered? Will you?
You were Doris Fletcher, the greatest actress of her generation. No one can take that from you.
Thank you.
何、自殺すんの？
And farewell. Ah! Ah! Ah!
Farewell, Doris.
なんか劇的なようでちょっと拍子抜けなんだが、よくわかんなかったな。
Bravo! So dramatic. I love it.
McCullum.
How strange I seem to find you whenever I'm inquiring about that Skal infestation.
I mean you no harm.
I'm not here for you. But once I put all the pieces of the puzzle together, I'm sure we'll have a little chat, you and me.
Stay away from me, McCullum. You and all your war dogs.
That I can't guarantee, Dr. Reed. But I'll let you go. For now.
I should probably leave the theater right now.
お、トロフィー、死のステージクリア。
I cannot enter. The West End should be safe now. But London is not. It would be wise to benefit from the Ascalon's protection while I continue my research during the Great Hunt.
そうだね。いや、周りのねえ、あれが邪魔でしたね。いや、でもなんとかなってよかったわ。このゲーム死ぬとほんとめんどくさいからね。よし、ようやく進展したぞ。本当に今夜でチャプター7まで終わらせる気満々なんで頑張ります。でも大体サブクエとかも片付いたし、まあもうどんどんストーリー進めるだけだと思うんですけどね。あんまり長引かせるとなんつうの、単純に材料も減る一方だしね。時間かかってっちゃうだけだからな。素材集めからしていかなきゃいけないからでしょ。
I need to leave now.
劇場から脱出は完了。お、チャプター5入りました。
So Doris just needed to be close to her audience to infect them. Contagion through skin. Very disturbing.
なるほどね。ウエストエンドのアスカロンクラブここだよね、確か。さて、あ、なんであなたここにいるの？
Elizabeth, what are you doing here?
I've been formally asked to witness your triumph, my dear. After all, isn't it the natural role of a woman to support her man in victory?
But it's you who insisted I join the Ascalon.
Please forgive my giddiness. I'm just overcome by the thrill of finally being allowed within these hallowed halls.
You certainly have an inquisitive mind. It's quite something. Elizabeth Ashbury, only you can make me smile in these difficult times.
And the same to you, Jonathan Reed. Now go have your little chat with the chairman. I can see he's practically bursting to hear your report.
Lord Redgrave can play with the brave all he wants, but I won't put a foot outside until the pre-wen end their hunt.
あ、間違えた。出ちゃった。こっからも出れるんかい。いや、こういうのもうちょっと分かりやすくしてほしいよね。こっちからも入れんだ。よし。
Good evening, Dr. Reed. Have a drink and enjoy this night, for it could be our last.
最後になるかもしれない。どういうことよ。
Welcome back to the Ascalon Club, Lance-Bearer. Please tell us the good news. Have you put an end to the epidemic?
My hypothesis was correct. Doris Fletcher was the source of the contagion in this part of town. She was probably the first to be infected.
And you cleansed her before the hunters, I've been told. Well done, Dr. Reed. You thrust your lance and pierced the very heart of the corruption.
But some questions remain.
The important thing is, we won a major battle for the survival of London. For that, we salute you.
Thank you, my lord.
Now, I have another task for you. One of the utmost importance. Perhaps even more so than the previous.
I'm listening.
It's time for you to perform a most sacred duty for the club. I want you to recruit a new vampire.
Recruit a new vampire? Are you sending me on some sort of diplomatic mission?
Not exactly. I want you to make Aloysius Dawson the Ekon he deserves to be.
あらま。
I'm not sure I'm the best candidate for such a task.
I can hear the hesitation in your voice, Dr. Reed. I admire a man of principles. But in this matter, there is more at stake than your moral comfort.
It's not a moral question, Lord Redgrave. It's the responsibility of giving immortality to a man I barely know.
Nonsense. Aloysius has been a member of the Ascalon for years. This is but the fruition of a long-held plan.
How would you like me to proceed?
Aloysius is waiting for you at the Dawson estate. Once the deed is done, I'll join you there to celebrate this momentous occasion.
Before I go, I have a few questions.
All right, I'm listening.
Why Aloysius Dawson?
Because he is about to die, and he just may be the most influential man in England.
Did he choose me?
No, I did. My decision is very recent, to say the least, but it is entirely mine.
Does he know I'm coming?
He can't wait to become your progeny, Dr. Reed. Especially now that you have shown how strong your lineage is through your sister.
How would you like me to proceed?
Don't worry. Aloysius has had many years to prepare himself. He has studied our kind for decades.
So shall I just let him drink my blood?
Yes. Aloysius will gratefully sup on your blood. His heart will slow, then stop. But he will rise again as one of us, an immortal.
失敗する可能性あ
Is
るんじゃな
there
いの
any danger?
Our blood alters a mortal body so deeply that some don't survive the metamorphosis. They die for good. But Mr. Dawson has been preparing himself for a long time.
準備って何ができるのよ。
You invited Lady Ashbury. Wouldn't that be breaking one of your cardinal rules? No women allowed.
Not allowed as members, no. But considering the circumstances, I thought you'd like to have her here to witness your triumph.
So it's a temporary admittance, then.
Something of a bargain, considering the crisis we're currently facing.
Goodbye, Lord Redgrave.
なるほどね。テンプル教会の入り口に到達。どこにあるの？ああ、行ったことないエリアだ。オッケー。病院のあれが増えてるな。まあいいや。ん？うん。すぐ迷子になる。
Are you all right, Jonathan?
Lord Redgrave has just ordered me to turn Aloysius Dawson, to make him my progeny.
I see. And how do you feel about this?
I'd like your advice on the matter.
The real question here is, why has his lordship given you this task?
Do you think it's some sort of trap?
Do you really want to know what I think about this?
I do, yes.
To make an immortal of a soulless blackguard like Aloysius Dawson will only lead to a disaster for London. The man is already dead inside.
Should I refuse? Perhaps politely suggest that Lord Redgrave turn the man into a vampire himself.
Don't you dare, my dear. According to what I've recently discovered, his lordship could kill you for even broaching the subject.
Really? Why?
I've recently found proof that the Earl of Bristol is of lesser lineage and only capable of creating skulls.
Please tell me more about your recent investigation.
As long as you lower your voice.
What would you have me do about Dawson?
The man is dangerous. Did you know he plans to build a wall to separate the healthy rich from the sickly poor? Do not make him your progeny.
What would you do?
The man's dying already. Let the Reaper harvest the rotten fruit that is his soul.
Are you sure your information about Redgrave is correct? He says he's the progeny of the great knight William Marshall, who lived some 9 centuries ago.
That's a lie. Lord Redgrave is unable to create anything but skulls, if the poor souls survive at all.
How can you be sure the information was correct?
I made the acquaintance of a most interesting informer while investigating your maker, from whom I learned the truth about Lord Redgrave.
Why so vindictive? You suddenly sound like you're angry.
Forgive me, Jonathan. I hate myself for it, but I feel such pride in my discovery. I'm afraid I just can't help it.
Which is?
He did serve William Marshall, And yes, the blood he covets as a token does truly belong to that legendary knight. But he was never his progeny. His lineage is not so noble.
本物を知ってるんだ彼女は。
What would happen if I made Dawson an Ekon like myself?
You would add a powerful immortal into a suffering world. An immortal who already craves authority.
Maybe I could teach him control, like you taught me. Lead him down the right path.
Mr. Dawson spent his life searching for a way to cheat death. I'm sure he has spent decades dreaming of how he'd spend eternity as a tyrant.
Goodbye for now, Elizabeth.
Goodbye, my dear. Please, be careful.
こんな敵の本拠地でこんな話していいのかいって感じだけどね。お、いただきます。じゃあ行ってみますか。バトルになりそうだよね。よし。
It looks like vampires have to obey Mendel's laws when producing progeny. Powers pass from one generation to another. That's why Dawson wants me to sire him.
なんか敵の配置変わったな。やばいのがいる。強い。最後にこの爆発するの本当やめてほしいですね。隠れ家を探そうと思ってきたんだけど、どこだ。こっちか。やべ、こいついるんだった。おい、普通にレベル高いやつと戦うとダメージが が隠れ家はどこや？ん？ここだ。あれ違うな。リード艇。アヘンが足らん。アルミあと4枚買わなきゃダメだな。いや、サーベル普通に強そうだな。小さな鍵？小さなチェスやトランクを開けるためのものだろう。ドロシー・クレインが持っていた。だと？アヘンくれ、アヘン。誰？あなた誰？こんにちは。
Mother, good evening.
Jonathan, is it you? Where
自分家か。ここ。
I'm right here, Mother. I'm finally home.
Yes, but this son of mine was dead and is alive again. He was lost and now found. But where is your sister? Where is Mary?
Mary? She is gone, Mother.
I know she's gone. The question is, when will she return as you have? I miss my grandson so much. It's been days since their last visit.
Mother, do you know what's been going on in this area?
Not really. I don't go out much due to the epidemic, and when I do, I tend to get lost.
What do you mean you get lost? I hope you don't go outside alone.
Of course not. When I go out, your father always comes with me, but he leaves me there sometimes, and I have trouble finding the way back.
Have you returned to Whitechapel Cemetery since Mary's funeral?
I never want to go back to that awful place. Wait. I think I went back once. And you were there too. And Mary? No, that can't be true.
It was just a bad dream, Mother.
A nightmare, yes. Mary was so angry. I walked back home alone. If that kind policeman had not called Avery from the station, I don't know what would have happened.
Do you need anything, Mother? Can I help you?
I just want you to stay with me, Jonathan. Your room is ready. I asked Avery to make your bed.
I'll stay as long as I can, I promise. Do you need anything else?
Just one thing. Stop staring at me like that. As much as I love you, it breaks my heart to look at those empty and dead eyes.
死んでるからな。
Are you working on a new painting?
Not recently. I have trouble focusing on my subject and my mind quickly drifts. It's the same thing when I try to write poetry.
I recently met a talented painter with an excellent technique. I wish you two could meet. I'm sure you'd like her.
I'd be glad to meet her. What is her name? Is she famous? Is she dead too?
She's not famous, and her name is of no importance. And yes, she is also dead.
The important thing is, I hope you two get along. If she ever fancies meeting your mother, I'd be glad to welcome her into my home.
Why do you say Mary is visiting you, Mother? You know that's impossible.
Why should it be? Are you not standing in front of me right now? Why should it be any different with your sister?
But Mary really is dead, Mother.
Yes. And are you not dead too? Isn't your
もう
father
分かってん
dead?
だ。
And my grandson and my son-in-law, you're all gone. But you all still visit me from time to time.
But I'm not dead, Mother. I'm really here, talking to you, trying not to cry.
Oh, it breaks my heart to have to tell you this. But of course you're dead, my darling boy. Just look at you, as pale as my Mary.
Goodbye, Mother. Try to rest now.
Goodbye, son. Please come back soon.
吸血鬼に理解があるのか、お母さん。よくわからんな。ここは入れないんだ、お母さんの部屋。こんな自分家全然来てなかったわ。もう一人いるべ。なんかめちゃくちゃいろいろ拾ってるけど、まあいいや。ハルーン・ラッセルがいて、ここ開かなくて、あ、いるね。何してんの？大丈夫？あ、掃除してんのか。
Good evening, Avery.
Mr. Jonathan, I can't believe my own eyes. Oh, it's a miracle. We all thought you were... Oh, sir, your poor sister. What a tragedy.
I know, Avery. I know about my sister's murder.
Miss Reed expected you to return to assist with the funeral, right up until the last minute. Where have you been, Mr. Jonathan? We needed you here.
How is my mother?
Not well, I'm afraid, sir. Miss Reed is very fragile since the police brought her back home.
The police? What happened?
Miss Reed was found walking in the streets. She kept saying she had spoken with her son and daughter. She's resting now.
あの時から時間が進んでないな、彼女だけ。
Has she received appropriate medical care?
I'm taking care of Miss Reed myself. Hospitals are so overwhelmed by the epidemic that they can only accept patients infected by influenza.
Perhaps we could arrange a short trip. Somewhere sunny, like France. She has always been very fond of France. I think leaving London could do her good.
I'm afraid Miss Reed is too frail for the moment. Recently, she started going out at night without remembering it. I have to watch her carefully.
What is the situation in this part of town?
For a time, the West End seemed spared by the epidemic. But the situation is getting much worse.
Have you no relatives anywhere? I'll understand if you want to take a few days to see family.
Your father managed to guarantee my earnings as long as I take care of this house, sir. My sisters are dead, and I've never met my nephews. I'll stay, sir.
I'm sorry I could not be here for Mary's funeral.
Your mother was strong, sir, but your support would have been appreciated. Apart from the priest and I, no one else attended your sister's funeral.
To be present at the funeral with you both was my dearest wish, Avery. But I am sorry, I simply could not attend.
I would not dare to question your absence, Mr. Jonathan. All I can say is that we missed you a great deal during these difficult days.
Tell me the truth, Avery. Do you feel forced to stay here? Would you leave this house without the arrangement made by my father?
No, sir. I have nowhere else to go. And I promised your father I'd take care of his family as long as I live.
This house
めち
is
ゃくちゃ典
dead.
型的ないい執事。
There is a curse on this family. You really should consider leaving.
If only you could have been here sooner or more often. Maybe this house would not be that empty. But you're here now, sir. So my task is not over.
You have served this family extremely well, Avery. Your support during these terrible times is much appreciated.
Then I will stay. All I ask is that you take care of my own funeral if I die before the end of the epidemic. No mass grave, please, sir.
もちろんもちろん。
You really think I don't take enough care of my mother, Avery?
Yes, I do, Mr. Jonathan.
You clearly have something more to say. Speak your mind, Avery.
I know you work hard to help the sick, but what will you do once the epidemic is over?
My home is here, and I have nowhere else to go. But this house will need some improvements if I move here. Some radical changes.
That's good news. Whatever changes you have in mind, I'm sure we will find an arrangement that suits your mother also.
What can you tell me about Aloysius Dawson?
Not much, sir. Mr. Dawson's house used to be a good house, with many servants. I heard he fired them all recently.
あらまあ、そうなの？
Goodbye, Avery. Please watch over my mother until I return.
Of course, Mr. Jonathan. But please return as soon as possible.
なんか一人で会話してないお母さん。やばない？めっちゃキュッキュ掃除してくれてるけど。そっか、ここジョナサンの家だったんだ。わあ、分かってなかったわ。はい。どうしようかな。まあ、とりあえず行くだけ行ってみるか。 まだバトルにはならないでしょ。チャプター5始まったばっかりだしね。
See them fancy clothes? This one's a top. Watch it! It's a killer.
いった。やっぱあの煙ほんと嫌だわ。あ、てかここあれね。なんでこうなるんだよ。この辺来たことないと思ってたけどあるわ。
It's locked. I should find another way to get into the neighborhood.
入り込む方法を見つける。隔離策を回避する通路を見つける。続々と集まってきますな。こいつ爆発すんだろ。しない？なんかここ怪しいな。ちょっとマーカー押せないし。不便すぎるな。こっちじゃないな。まあちょっと一応見とくか。これ違うよな。一応見てみようかな。新しい隠れ家か？ここは。
There has been a fight here. I can see a blood trail. Left by one of the antagonists, perhaps?
なんか新しいミッションゲットしたんだけど、なんで？
What a mess. Something terrible happened here. But what?
アヘンが足らんのじゃ。ルイーズ・ティールズ・デイルズを見つける。あいつはダメージ受けんのかい。なんかすごいルートだな。なんもないな。
One of her! He's being bitten! Fuck, it's false! Snuff it, let
なんかめっちゃいいんだけど。ここ前いなかったじゃん。いなかったんじゃなくて倒してただけか、ここ。結構近くにおるんだけどな。 いいダブルバレル。とりあえずメインクエストちょっと探すか。怪物くんがいるね。おっと。ここどこだ。ああ、全然違うとこだな。こっちじゃないな。なんかありそうなんだけどな。あそこに一人いるな。
I think this passage could lead me close to Aloysius Dawson's mansion.
ここか。オッケーオッケー。よいしょ。やばそうだな。 うやってね、ネズミちゃんがいる時点でね、戦闘ありそうな雰囲気。
It's locked, all right.
Ah, ここから降りる。ほら、マジやん。案の定ですよ。おっと、やばいやばい。いや、強いって。一発が重い。これはマジで死ぬかもしれん。パリ決めようとしてさ、食らっちゃうと結構辛いものがあるよ。おーっと、ちょあ、やばい。おいしょ。マジで血は回復量。おっと、オッケー。安全運転、安全運転。うそー、痛いな。もうおっと、やばいやばい。スタミナが。 オッケー。もう急なボス戦やめてくださいマーシー。一回戦ったことある敵だからよかったけどさ。次どこ行けばいいの？ここか？
I cannot enter.
違うな。誰ちょこれやばない？ちょっと待ってよ。少しでも減らさないと。レベル違いすぎるから。いってえな。なんで急にこんな襲われた？なんか来ちゃいけないところに来てる気がするんだけど。あ、いるなあの人が。レベル30の人がいるな。
This is despicable.
Vampire or not, I'll never be your wife!
Your prey is mine now!
よし。ヴァンパイアが恋しちゃった感じ。
Are you all right, miss?
Who are you? What do you want from me?
My name is Jonathan Reed. I'm a doctor. What happened to you? Why are you here?
I'm Louise Teasdale. I was kidnapped a few weeks ago.
半月ほど前。だいぶ経ってるね。
Don't laugh, please, sir. It's no joke.
I believe you, Miss Teasdale.
That monster told me my father was dead. That no one was waiting for me outside.
You're safe now. You don't have to worry about the vampire. You should just return home.
Thank you, sir. I hope we'll meet again soon. Because I'd really like you to teach me how to get rid of these creatures.
Goodbye, Miss Teasdale. And be careful. Until we meet again.
救出イベントはクリアですね。ということで本ミッションの方行きますか。突然のね戦闘だらけでびっくりしちゃったけど。武器ゲット。あれどっち正解？ん？これ武器なだけ？ネズミちゃん食べとこう。
I have this thirst for blood.
あれ？出口わからんくなってしまった。空っぽなんかい。ここだ。
I can't believe I'm doing this.
もうバトルやよ。いや降りたらバトル始まりそう。あれここバトったとこもしかして。あれこっちじゃない正解。戻ってきただけか。となると暗くてわかんないんだよな本当に。いやこっちから来て開けた。こっちか。あれいや違うな。
It's locked.
彼女が行った先以外に普通に降りれたわ。行くルートあった？彼女が囚われてたのはここで、この階段か。さて、あれ？合ってる？あ、来れたのか、邸宅。
What has happened to the London that I knew? Good evening, sir. May I ask you what you're doing here at this late hour?
I'm conducting an investigation about the epidemic in this part of town.
And who are you, sir?
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed from the Pembroke Hospital. May I ask who you are and why all the questions?
I'm Detective Inspector Charles Albright from Scotland Yard. And I don't find your answers convincing. What is a Pembroke doctor doing in the West End at this time of night?
アスカロンクラブの仕事をしています。これ言っていいのかな？行ってみるか。
I work for the Ascalon Club. Here is my permit to go freely about the city.
The Ascalon Club? You should have said so, sir. I must warn you, these streets are dangerous, and you'd better be careful.
What can you tell me about this district?
I'm the one asking questions, especially when there's a killer on the loose.
誰かいる。
What killer?
I'm not going to discuss that with the civilians, sir.
Haven't I told you about the investigation I'm conducting? Perhaps I could help you.
All right, without giving you too much information, I'll tell you this. I'm convinced there is a homicidal maniac on the loose, using the epidemic to disguise his kills.
And what about the epidemic?
We both know the situation is critical, don't we, Doctor? Colleagues of mine die almost every day.
What are you really doing here?
I told you. I'm a detective inspector from Scotland Yard, investigating suspicious cases in the area.
Do you work alone?
Yes. The situation is difficult for the police. Many of us are sick, and since the summer strike, most men apply a work to rule on their patrols.
What about the situation in the East End? Why are there no police there to protect the civilians?
I know, it's a shame, but we just don't have enough men to cover the entire city.
警察人手不足なの。
Why are you investigating at night?
Criminals rarely act in daylight, you know. But since you are also a night worker, have you noticed anything strange which requires police attention?
Jeffrey McCallum って誰だっけ?
Does the name Fergal ring a bell? Fergal Bansha?
Of course it does. Fergal Bansha, the Butcher of Galway. Hung in Dublin in 1857 for murdering more than 20 men with his bare hands. Why are you so interested in dead criminals, sir?
Tell me all you know about that homicidal maniac you're looking for.
I'm not even sure there is only one. The wounds are always the same, but the modus operandi varies. Sometimes violent and brutal, sometimes precise and swift.
How could different killers inflict the same wounds?
That's my main problem. If my theory is correct, maybe we're facing a group of individuals sharing the same violent tendencies. Perhaps a sadist cult.
What are you investigating, exactly?
I have a missing woman, possibly abducted a few nights ago. Louise Teasdale.
彼女を助けてよ。
It seems you already found my other missing person, Mr. Tadao Kimura.
Tell me about Louise Teasdale.
She's a waitress. Her father reported her missing. We don't have enough men to search for her, sadly.
Do you have any idea where she could be?
No. But I feel she's been abducted. She went to a pub a few nights ago and vanished. I thought about the sewers, but I'm not a...
この人と話すことでクエストが発生するものだったんだな。
What are you investigating?
Tell me.
Do you...
No.
Do you know anything in particular about a man called Aloysius Dawson?
Who doesn't know the man? I think he intervened personally to put an end to the police strike of last August.
What else can you tell me about him?
Aloysius Dawson is exactly the kind of powerful and influential man who could commit murder and get away with it. With just one phone call.
マジか。ルイーズ助けてよ。
Goodbye, Detective Inspector Albright.
Goodbye, Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'm sure we'll talk again soon.
ちょっと空いてなかったさ。あれ開けようぜ。もうなんか兄弟みたいのがいる。双子か？あ、ここ。オッケー。これで通行楽になった。で、なんか兄弟みたいのがいたから話してみるか。これ絶対双子だろ。同じ格好して座ってるわ。
Good evening, sir. I am Dr. Jonathan Reed. Do you need my help?
Yes, please. Would you be kind enough to tell me what the time is?
That's all you need to know.
Well, is it not important to know? As important as where you are? Or who you are?
I suppose you're right. And who are you then, sir?
I am Agamemnon Baker. Like my brother, I think we need to leave this city immediately. And my brother and I rarely agree on anything.
May I ask what you're doing outside at this hour of night?
I don't know. You should ask my brother instead. It was his idea in the first place.
You must have your own ideas.
From what I have managed to understand, I guess we're supposed to wait here. Waiting for someone to come.
変な兄弟だな。
What can you tell me about this part of town?
It's the only place I've considered myself happy. Or at least that's what I believe. Unfortunately, it's time to leave.
Why is that?
Because I'm not feeling happy here anymore. Are you?
I still enjoy living in London, no matter how difficult it can be sometimes.
Then I am sincerely happy for you. True happiness in life seems to be the most difficult goal to reach these days.
May I ask why you've not gone already, if you're so exasperated by this long wait?
I believe fear is holding us back. My brother would have said it's laziness, but it's just because he's prouder than I am.
What can you tell me about your brother?
He's older than me, I think. But the important thing is that I really hope I'll die before him. Grief would just kill me. you know?
Is that all?
ちょっと今字
Pericles
幕
is
おかし
very
かった
attached
な
to this city,
ブ
and
ラザー
without
は
my
普通に
insistence, he
弟
would
って
never
言っちゃ
leave
った
this
けど
place.
兄弟
We
って
don't
ことだ
often
よ
agree on anything, you see?
What can you tell me about Aloysius Dawson?
You should ask that question to my brother instead. Personally, I've not seen Aloysius for many years.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Baker. Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. Can I be of assistance?
顔そっくりかと思ったけどそっくりではなかった
Is there anything wrong?
No, it's just... Your name sounds familiar. And your face. Have we met before?
I think I would remember. So I suppose the answer is no.
That's odd. I'm certain I've already heard of you. My name is Pericles Baker.
まあ一応有名
Does
人
that
だ
mean
からな
anything to you?
I'm afraid not, sir. But it's a pleasure to meet you anyway.
The pleasure is mine, I guess. I only wish I could remember when it was that we met.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Baker. What are you doing out here in the middle of the night?
We are waiting. Waiting for someone.
And why
誰
are
かを
you
待っ
waiting
て
for
る
this person?
Because we need to leave this city. As soon as possible.
Why do you want to leave the city?
I'm not really sure.
Can you tell me anything about this district?
As you like asking questions so much, would you allow me to ask you one first?
Please, be my guest.
Do you like this city?
I know we are not living in the most peaceful of times, but I have learned to appreciate London's complexity.
Yes, me too. This city tests us. It invites us to find ourselves, to discover our true nature scattered throughout its dark streets.
But what if we don't like what we find?
Do we ever know who we are? I wonder sometimes. Or maybe it is the journey to find out who we are that changes us.
And what do you do, sir? For a living, that is.
I stopped working when I decided to leave. When I realized what I wanted. Wanted something this city can't provide.
Tell me more about why you want to leave London, then.
I just don't belong here anymore. I had to convince my brother to leave London because I know we need to find another life out of the city.
But what were you doing before you took this decision?
Does it really matter anymore? Considering the past seems so pointless to me. I have lived in this city all my life. And now I think it's over.
Pericles, tell me why your brother disagrees with your presence here.
Agamemnon is naive sometimes. Although don't consider him a fool, sir. He is often more lucid than me.
At least you both have the same difficulty explaining what you're doing, and for what reason.
But is that not a common problem for all mortals?
What can you tell me about your brother?
If you are searching for a pleasant chat, you should speak with him instead of wasting your time with me.
変な兄弟だな。
He's always been the more gentle of us.
That's it? That's all you can tell me about him?
For the time being, true kindness is the most valuable quality, my good sir.
Who are you waiting for? I'm sure he has a name.
I really can't answer that question, since I don't know that person.
And why is that?
This person is mostly my brother's acquaintance. I don't even know his real name. Only that this man could help us leave this city once and for all.
But why would you need this person's help to leave London anyway?
Well, I thought we should have left this cursed place already, but my brother convinced me to stay a while longer, and here we are.
What can you tell me about Aloysius Dawson?
I've heard this is a man who has searched for his place in the world for a long time. I hope he found it.
Goodbye, Mr. Baker.
変な兄弟だな
I cannot enter.
If you're not too tired, could you help your mummy? Sweetest daughter ever. Carol. Keep
めっ
your
ちゃ
mommy
声
in
だけ聞こえるけど。
Yes.
出てきた。
Dr. Reed.
Good evening, Miss Price. How are you tonight?
Dr. Reed. I didn't know you had returned from the war. I had a new doctor when you left, but he's not as kind as you.
Always glad to see a former patient in good condition. It's been a long time.
Too long indeed.
患者か、
And as a
患者
token of
通
my
貨。
appreciation, I'll grant you the best price if you fancy buying anything from my humble shop.
What can you tell me about yourself, Miss Price?
I'm still managing my shop. The only difference is, since the quarantine, we're open at night. You, on the contrary, seem to have changed a lot.
Really? Have I changed that much? It must have been the war and the night shifts since my return.
Don't get me wrong, Dr. Reed, you're still handsome. Just maybe a little bit wiser, more serious. It suits you well.
Tell me more about yourself. No new fiancé? I remember you were hoping to get remarried. I'm sure you must have a few suitors.
Who would marry an old bat like myself with a grown daughter and a little business? As you know, I only fancy handsome men like yourself.
Have you noticed anything in particular in this part of town recently?
Other than you coming back to cheer me up? Nothing at all, Dr. Reed.
Does your daughter still worry you, Miss Price? I remember you were often concerned about her health when she was younger.
Have you not seen Carol since you returned? She's almost a young woman now. But she'll always remain my sweet little baby.
So you're less afraid?
Some things never change. Carol is still too clumsy for her own good. Sometimes her innocence puts her in real danger.
Why would her innocence put her in danger?
She does not realize how cruel life can be. Maybe I was a bad mother to protect her too much. My poor dear Carol.
You have every reason to be cautious, Miss Price. Especially in these difficult times.
Maybe you could talk with her, Dr. Reed. It would be nice to have a man here more often. We would both feel safer.
Do you know Aloysius Dawson?
Everybody knows him. He's only been to my shop once, though, looking for rare books and other intriguing antiques.
Did he buy something from you?
No, he left quickly. He almost laughed at my goods. Mr. Dawson may be a rich man, but you can't buy good manners.
But isn't Aloysius Dawson known for his philanthropy?
That was before his brother Robert died in an aeroplane crash. Since then, the remaining twin has turned into a heartless tycoon.
なるほど。
May I look at your goods, Miss Price?
It's always a pleasure to have you here, Dr. Reed. Take all the time you need.
Good evening, Miss Price. I'm Dr. Reed. Do you remember me?
Dr. Reed? Yes, of course. You are the doctor who healed me and my mum. Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Good to see you too, Carol. Are you all right?
Oh, yes. I did not hurt myself recently. I know how to take care of myself now. I'm almost a grown-up.
Why are you awake at night, Carol?
I am helping my mother in her shop. It's not easy, but I'm a grown-up now.
I'm sure your mother is grateful for your help.
I do the best I can. But I'm so clumsy sometimes. I drop things. I injure myself. It's a good thing my mother has the patience of an angel.
Why is work not easy? Is something or someone bothering you?
Oh no, most people are gentle with me. But I'm so nervous sometimes. I pay no attention and hurt myself. Good thing my mum learned first aid.
What can you tell me of the people living nearby?
I don't speak to many people, except our customers. It's not easy to make friends. And with the epidemic, it's even more difficult.
What can you tell me about the epidemic?
Some of our regular customers have left London. Some others only send their housemaids now. Everybody fears the contagion. I've even seen men with weapons.
Have you no friends at all?
No. Mr. Nithercote used to pass by and was always nice to me.
Does he not come by anymore?
No. Mum said he was weird. Always reciting poetry about a girl he'd met in Whitechapel. I wonder who this camellia may be.
カメリア出てきたぞ。なんか知ってる名前が。
Aloysius Dawson?
Yes. A very strange man. Not very nice.
What do you mean?
He said he was ready to pay good money for rare books. And then laughed at what we showed him.
Goodbye, Carol.
I am sorry, I can't help you, sir. Perhaps you should talk with someone else instead.
I hope you can stay a little longer this time.
地下になんかいるな。
We should be far from town already. All right. But where would we go? Anywhere. Anywhere that isn't here. And what is that, by the way? A safer place? A less strange place? And where would that be? Life is strange. And we are alive. For now, yes. But for how long? If we decided to flee, we should be far from town already. All right. But where would we go?
Around here.
新しいヒント。新しい隠れ家じゃ。
It's locked, all right.
どっから入ればいいのかわからんな、相変わらず。おっと待って、やばいやばいやばい。ここかな、入れん。あ、ここか。
Dawson's mansion. Here I am at last. But the question remains, am I ready to make a dying man my progeny?
Hmm. とりあえず物色させてもらうぜ。広っ、めちゃくちゃ広い。超金持ちじゃん。いるな、そこに。ああ、住民に話聞いてもあんまりいい感じじゃなかったけどね。
It's locked, all right. Reduced in rank for falsely accusing a man of murder. I wonder what Inspector Albright thinks about his punishment.
免罪か。マジで家でかすぎだろう。
It's locked.
Now, なるほど、こういう構造なのか。
Finally, you're here, Dr. Reed. What took you so long?
I had to pass several of your barricades and outposts to access your mansion, sir.
Death, pestilence surround us, and time is against me.
I see you've gathered some of the most expensive, albeit experimental, blood transfusion equipment available. All this could be so useful in a hospital.
Yes, yes. Since Lord Redgrave sent me a doctor to perform my conversion, I thought you might find some of these devices useful.
Most thoughtful. But tonight I'm not here as a physician.
But I feel reassured that a specialist such as yourself would help me to escape the Reaper.
Very well. But before I proceed, I have a few questions for you.
If you must, but be quick, for I don't have much time left in this life.
First of all, I need to be sure that you know exactly what is going to happen to you, sir.
I can assure you I'm as informed as any man can be. I have planned for this moment, Dr. Reed. Planned very carefully.
Sir, I'm going to end your life. Do you not wish to discuss the procedure for even a minute?
I don't have a minute to indulge in idle chatter. I can't feel my legs. And the cold. So cold.
I will become your maker. Do you understand what that means?
Well, I certainly won't consider you my liege, or some such drivel. You can be assured of that.
You'll need to feed on warm blood. Blood from mortals. How do you feel about that?
I'm rich, Reed, and powerful. I'm sure I'll be able to acquire all the blood I need without ever having to sully my own hands.
What do you know about the Guard of Priwen?
What I do know is that I'll crush anyone or anything that would dare to oppose me.
Let's move on, then.
please, I'm cold and tired. I feel my life waning with every moment.
But first, before you embrace immortality, what would you do with such a gift?
That's a rather impertinent question, Dr. Reed. And I will do as I please.
Answer me all the same. What will your first action be as an immortal?
To save London. I will finance the most efficient quarantine ever seen. I will build a wall that will separate the sick boroughs from the healthy ones.
Who gave you the right to decide the fate of thousands of people?
My money. My money and my pending immortality gives me the needed authority, Doctor. I'm a businessman. I'm used to tough decisions.
いや、この人どうすべきだろう。
You really plan to build a quarantine wall across London?
Yes, it will be tall and strong, separating the wheat from the chaff.
By doing so, you will also create two separate prisons.
Come, sir. An eminent doctor like yourself knows that such radical measures have proved efficient in the past.
Let me guess. You mean to isolate the rich from the poor?
This is a desperate measure for desperate times. England must prevail, Doctor, no matter the cost.
Quarantine is not a bad idea, medically speaking. But I'm convinced this epidemic will not be contained by mere walls.
As long as the right people are on the right side of the wall, that's all that matters.
But you can't guarantee infection will not spread. Just one contagious carrier would be enough to create an apocalypse.
The apocalypse is already knocking at the gate. We must be strong now.
What if a new outbreak happens inside your walls? You'll have created a giant trap.
That won't happen. As long as we dispose of anyone that is contaminated as soon as they are spotted.
I've heard enough. It's time to proceed.
At last. All right, do what you have to do. If it hurts, so be it. I've been preparing such a long time for this.
ヒントが必要。ちゃんと調べきれずに来てしまったな。どうしようこれ。どうしようこれ。壁できちゃうのやだな。いやでも殺さない吸血鬼なんだよな。この人スカルになっちゃうんじゃないのって思うけどな。いやいい子になるのかな。ここで得られる経験値2000を与えるってことでしょ多分。どうしよう。どうしようどうしようどうしようどうしようどうしようどうしよう。アスカロンクラブを敵に回すよな、殺すと。まあやるだけやってみるか。殺さない主義でやってきたしね。
Are you ready for immortality, Mr. Dawson? Drink now, and say farewell to life as you prepare to be reborn.
What do you mean, drink? What about the blood transfusion?
I'm the doctor and the vampire here, so I'll give the orders. Drink, sir. Now.
All right.
Good. That's enough. That's enough, I said.
die. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Oh no. You will die, sir. Steel yourself. You're already in death's door.
トロフィーを獲得しました。覚悟を決めろ。ヒント取得に失敗。なんか失敗しちゃったけど、早く進めすぎたね。まあ行くだけ行くか。
Is it done, Dr. Reed? Is Aloysius Dawson reborn, as expected?
Yes, my lord. Ascalon has a new recruit, as you ordered.
Wonderful news. I've waited for this outcome for so long. Tonight you served your country, the king himself, beyond all expectation.
Thank you, my lord.
No, thank you, Dr. Reed. Now, could you do me one last favor?
Of course. What is it?
Go outside and talk with that disgusting creature I saw waiting for you in front of this mansion.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but I'll have a look.
Good. I didn't kill her on the spot, for she claims to be a friend of yours. But don't you dare bring such a creature near me again.
彼女を裏切ったことになっちゃった。これもしかして。あ、ローブリジットだ。
We meet again at the strangest of times, young Ekon. So do you serve the Earl of Bristol now?
Old Bridget? What are you doing here?
Your friend, the wise Ekon. She sent me to warn you.
Did anyone see you? It's a long way from the dock sewers, and hunters are patrolling the streets here.
Who said I took the streets? How do you think I survived for centuries in this city without ever being seen? I know all her secrets.
How did you meet Lady Ashbury?
She came to us in the sewers in search of answers. Just as you did.
Lady Ashbury in the sewers? Now that's a sight I wish I'd seen.
She said she was your friend, and that she sought the identity of your maker. So I answered her questions.
What kind of answers did you give her?
I knew nothing of your maker, but we talked. We talked a lot. Her words and ideas are captivating. It is no surprise that you like her. I like her too.
Lady Ashbury? You know her? Tell me what's going on.
The lady approached me but a few nights ago, wanting to meet the sewer skulls. Once she questioned Harriet Jones. She agreed to help us.
Harriet Jones is still with you then? How is she doing?
Harriet remains angry, but is recovering slowly. Her mind is twisted, but at least her body is healing.
Tell me what is going on.
The lady asked us to keep an eye on your mortal doctor friend while you were away. We spotted the hunters. They were discussing plans to attack tonight.
Wait, slow down. I need to ask you something.
I'm listening, but I do not have time to waste, so be quick.
Why do I feel like Lord Redgrave was particularly irritated to see you? Far more so than the average Skull, if I may say.
Because I used to know him quite well, and he is afraid I may remember who he really is.
You're Elizabeth's informant. You're the one who told her about Lord Redgrave's lies regarding his lineage.
Yes, but my words were not meant to hurt or threaten. I simply told the story of the Sewer Skulls, and of so many other forgotten children.
Where is Lady Ashbury right now?
She said she will go home. She needed to speak with some old friends first, though. Do not worry, young Ekon. She is no fool, and just as strong as you.
How did Elizabeth find you?
She presented herself humbly at our gate, and asked if we knew of any ancestral vampires hiding in London. She asked about Ascalon. She asked about many things.
What do you think of her?
Her soul is good, yet tainted with a deep sadness, and the scars of ancient wounds. Time does that to us immortals, for we have so much to dwell upon.
Why did she come to you?
I am old Bridget, the buried memory of the city. She sought the silent truths, truths I have kept hidden for so long.
No time to lose, then. I must go there right away.
I shall return to my den. Have you a message for the lady? Should I see her before you?
Yes. Tell her I love her.
Is this still unknown to her? Go now and take care, young Ekon, for the flames are rising.
"アシュベリーのとこ寄ってくか、とりあえず。ホワイトチャペル。ああ、まあいいか。会えたらでいいや。
All your problems. As long as you have the money.
会えたね。ちょうど通り道だわ。
How are you, boy?
I'm not your boy, all right? Now piss off.
Do you need assistance?
Please. Feeling tired these days.
There you go.
Very funny.
Goodbye, young man.
dare you interfere with my hunt?
強いな。やばいかも、死ぬかも。あ、やばい。フリーズした。よりによってフリーズした。ということで、キリがいいので、ここでまた一旦配信終了にしたいと思います。まあ、彼の運命を決めたということで、次の展開に入っていったので、ちょっとどこでセーブになったかな。ちょっと嫌な感じだけど。では、ありがとうございます。一旦終了にさせていただきます。